We're here to talk about the 2025 Camry. We're here to talk about the updates to the 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid and Sedan. Hatchback isn't on the list quite yet for Toyota. We'll have to cover that in a different video. If you missed my video right here, talking about the fuel economy, what I was able to squeeze out of the Corolla Hybrid LE, the base model, make sure to check that out. It was an absolute pleasure driving that vehicle for a week, taking my kids to school and milking the fuel economy on that. It's a lot of fun. Not quite as efficient as the Camry, and the crazy thing, the Camry doesn't cost that much more. It has an extra 100 horsepower and it's more fuel efficient. Anyways, you guys know that Camry is a great deal, especially the base model. So what about 2025? Are we getting some juicy updates for the Corolla? And we do a pricing. So I'll be able to tell you, hey, which are the best deals compared to last year? Which models should you kind of avoid? We're going to get into all that today. If you guys are excited, smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed because this is just one of many 2025 updates of Honda, Mazda, Toyota, etc. If there's some nice updates worth talking about here on the channel, I will make a dedicated video like I've been doing with the Accord, the Sienna, and the Highlander this week so far, as well as the Civic. This morning, assuming this video comes out on the same day that the Civic embargo ends, this morning, the Civic Hybrid video dropped, and I can't wait to compare that to this vehicle in this video, which I'm free to do now because the embargo has ended. So I will give you guys a really good recommendation on whether you should buy a Corolla Hybrid, or the new Civic or Civic Hybrid. All right, let's get into it. We're first going to talk about the non-hybrid, then get into the hybrid, and then we'll talk about the pricing. Toyota adds Corolla FX Special Edition to the Corolla family lineup. This was already previously announced. I actually made a video on it. It's a throwback to the original FX. Looks nothing like the old FX. It's just kind of like a sporty special edition. This is actually just an SE here, by the way. The FX, the only way I can, well, it's here. Here's the FX. Let's go and look at some of the pictures. Again, none of these are new. These are the same pictures that was communicated maybe about a month or so on this new Corolla FX. It has special wheels. It's got this spoiler. Certain things are blacked out about it. It's got a blacked out roof, which is kind of cool. This is the big deal. We have this new 10-inch screen. It's a little bit more than that. We'll talk more about that in here a little bit. We got this new 10-inch screen. Look how massive this is. It's enormous. So here's that, that yellow stitching in there for the FX model. It is enormous, and the seats in here I think are a little bit nicer than the normal. They kind of look like Lexus F Sport seats to a certain degree, or maybe even the Camry SE seats, but they're cloth, so they're going to breathe very well compared to the Camry SE and the Softex in there. We also have this 7-inch MID in here. Here's the base screen. You still have this entry level. I think it's an 8-inch screen, which is a base. I don't mind it. I like it. And in fact, smaller screens, I don't have to move my arm around or my hand around everywhere while I'm driving. Everything's kind of in one place. And so it's easier for me to get to with certain buttons, even though those buttons may be smaller on the smaller screen. It's just one-stop shop, if you know what I mean. So let's get into the details here and keep going. So 10.5-inch screen, we just showed that. The base engine here is the only engine option unless you're getting the hybrid. This is or the GR. This is a 2-liter dynamic force 4-cylinder, 169 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque, mated to a first gear CVT. Toyota's still the only one doing this. We have Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 now, which I believe is new for the Corolla lineup. Let's see here. For 2025, we have LE, SE, FX, no longer Nightshade, by the way, and XSE. This is on the non-hybrid again. It includes a standard 4.2-inch MID, which I just detailed for you guys in the 2024 Corolla LE. If I say Camry, I apologize. I'm doing my best here. Those two cars are, share a lot of same space in my brain. 4 USB-C ports, which is a nice update. Absolutely. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. That's nothing new. Safety Sense 3.0, which I believe is new. If you guys want to pause and read about it, go ahead. You can also get this 10.5-inch screen. It's optional in the SE grade, standard on the FX, and standard on the XSE. Other upgrades are the wireless charger, blind spot monitor. It's still not standard. That is a package on the base LE hybrid, if I remember, but the model I test drove was base, stripped out. It didn't have blind spot monitor on it. And also optional power tilt sliding moonroof. Fuel economy is 35 miles per gallon combined. On the Corolla, I saw 58 miles per gallon. still watch the video. It's still worth watching because I had a lot of fun. I give you tips on how to maximize your fuel economy. Why would you go for this model when you can get 58 miles per gallon on the hybrid? They detail the FX Special Edition. I'm not going to go into that. Make sure to watch my dedicated video about that FX Special Edition based off, or I should say, in honor of the 1987 FX16. Let's get into the hybrid and then we'll go into the pricing. Let's talk about the 2025 Corolla Hybrid. This is great. I just drove this past week in and around Nashville, the Civic Hybrid hatchback. All right, I know this is not the hatchback. The Corolla doesn't come in a hybrid hatchback here in North America, but for all intents and purposes, the hatchback is very similar to the sedan of the Civic. All right. Corolla Hybrid, EPA estimated range up to 50 miles per gallon. Again, I got 58 miles per gallon in flat. You know, it's been hot here, so I was running the AC a lot in that car, and I took it on the highway. That's where the fuel economy really drops on this model, is the highway. The Camry, in comparison, has a lot of extra power and reserve. The engine doesn't have to work as hard. It's more aerodynamic. And so this vehicle just, it doesn't do very well on the highway for fuel economy in comparison to some of the other options out there. I would say it's very comparable to the Civic Hybrid on the highway. So highway, if you're going fast, it's going to be more like mid 40s. In town, you can squeak past 60 miles per gallon if you don't have a lead foot. You can also get this new 10.5 inch screen on this model. And of course, it comes with Safety Sense 3.0. All right, just keep in mind, this hybrid is built in Japan, imported into America, and the Civic sedan, this guy, the non-hybrid, the gas model, is built in Mississippi, and the hatchbacks are built in Japan as well, if you guys care about that sort of thing. 5 grades: LE, LE all-wheel drive, SE, SE all-wheel drive, and XLE. There's no all-wheel drive option on the XLE. Standard 4.2 inch screen, 4 USB-C. So it's kind of like a carryover from everything we just talked about, except the engine is different on these models. And even the upgrades are also optional, same thing as the gas model. Fuel economy hasn't been changed. So really the main changes here are going to be the bigger screen, which is optional. It's available again on the SE. You're not going to be able to get on the base LE grade. And it is standard on the XLE, kind of like how it's standard on the XSE, available on the SE sedan. I'm talking about the non-hybrids, and it is standard on the FX model non-hybrid as well. Bass audio, 6 speakers. Don't waste your money if you think you want the nicer sound system. The bass sound system on these Corollas are really, really good. Not quite as good as the base Camry sound system. Like that, in some ways, is better than the JBL the JBL optional, because the JBL optional rattles the car too much. It just doesn't sound good. But anyways, yes, the Corolla Hybrid LE's bass sound system is pretty good for a base car. So we're going to get into the pricing here. I made a spreadsheet comparing this year to last year, and let's put a little splash of color on here. There we go. The price increase here in red compared to 1 year after the other. All right. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth buying the non-hybrid models. Yes, they're just a hair quicker, but when you're able to get 40% better fuel economy, what's the point? And the hybrids, oh, there goes my camera. But when you're able to get 40% better fuel economy for $1,500, it's only $1,500 more than the non-hybrid. You get 40% better fuel economy. You get better responsiveness. You get a more reliable setup, in my opinion, with the Toyota's hybrids. Built in Japan, if that matters to you. So there you have it. I can't recommend these models when the hybrids exist, okay? And they're not that much more money. And you can get all-wheel drive if you need all-wheel drive. Luckily, the price of all-wheel drive has not increased year over year. The price of the hybrids here have gone up $125 for the LE and the SE, and the XLE has gone up $740. It's a terrible buy already. Why is the XLE a terrible buy on the hybrid? It's because it comes way too close in price to the base Camry. The Camry LE is a home run in terms of bang for your buck. All right. And you can get the optional heated steering wheel and heated seats on there. And it comes standard blind spot monitor, if I remember correctly. The Camry LE is just, it's more efficient. It's more powerful. It has a better ride. It's a little bit heavier. So it doesn't, in some ways, it doesn't handle quite as well, but it handles just fine. And add to the complication here of the Civic Hybrid now on the market. The Civic Hybrid, let me pull up that slide. Hold on a sec. The Civic Hybrid here, on the hatchback anyways. I don't know exactly what the price is on the sedan. It might be a little bit less than this. Actually, I think it is less than this. But anyways, it's $29,950. You still have destination. And by the way, Toyota's destination has gone up $40 year over year. So now destination is your car just got $40 more expensive due to shipping, as well as the $125. And the XLE, absolute no buy unless you get a crazy deal on it. But at MSRP, it's not worth it. So the Sport Hybrid here for Honda, it's an equivalent buy, I would say, compared to the Camry LE. It is a little bit faster than the Camry LE just by a hair. The Civic hatchback here, it looks better than a lot better than the Camry. It's equipped similarly to the Camry, I would say. The Civic hatchback handles a little bit better than both of those models. The steering response is a little bit more crisp and better feeling. However, the base Sport Civic Hybrid doesn't have wireless Apple CarPlay or wireless Android Auto, if that matters to you. So I would definitely recommend the Sport Hybrid over the XLE Hybrid. And the Sport Touring Hybrid, it gets a bit trickier because then you're really competing at this point against, you could say, the XSE or maybe the XLE Camrys. I know the Camry's bigger, but it's something to consider. And I would say city fuel economy might be slightly better on the Civic, at least very close to the Corolla hybrids. So here's my recommendation. If you're spending under 25 grand, go get the Corolla LE hybrid. It is a fantastic buy. Over 25 grand, it starts losing its value because of the Civic hybrids, as well as the Camry hybrids being quite a bit better car, a little bit bigger, better styling. I could keep going, more features, all that good stuff. And luckily with the LE and the SE, you still get Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, but you won't get on the SE, at least standard, the 10-inch screen. All right. Let me know if I'm putting too much stock into the hybrids. Let me know if you would rather have a non-hybrid and spend $1,400 less. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Toyota hybrids and Honda hybrids as well. They're pretty much indestructible. They're reliable, more smooth. You hear the engine a lot less. The engine turns on and off without really knowing in Toyota and Honda hybrids, especially Hondas. It's just a better experience overall. It's more luxurious. And then, yeah, the CVT options. And here's the thing on the Civic, I don't even recommend the base powertrain 2-liter with 158, or I used to have 158 horsepower. Now it's 150 horsepower. I don't even recommend that model over the hybrids if you can help it. Anyways, there's my new video on the Corolla for 2025. Mild price increases across the lineup. You have an optional new big screen, but if you're going to be paying that much to get that optional screen, you might be better off looking at a Civic hybrid or a Camry hybrid. I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more. Have a great day and peace.